Yo, what's going on, everybody? AB Media 83 here, and today I am continuing my Dusty programming series. And today we're going to be talking about Dusty structs and records. Very interesting topic. Structs and records are very similar. If you've been watching my other Dusty videos, I do have a playlist for that. If you want to check that out, give me just a second. I will put the playlist in the description. I mean, into the chat if you want to check out my other C# programming videos. 1 minute. YouTube channel. Hope everybody's having a good 4th of July weekend. Hope everybody's having fun with that. Let's see. Here we go. Let's copy that. And we're going to go back to the comments. And here's my playlist for my other C# videos I've been doing. But today we're talking about, as I said, we are talking about structs and records. Now you might ask, what is a struct or a record? Well, I'm about to explain this as best I can. A struct in C# is similar to a class. It's like a struct does stand for structure, but a struct is a value type. That means it's similar to value types like int, double, decimal, and float. So this is like your own customized value type. Value. That's when you think of a value type. This is what you think of: int, decimal, stroke. Int. I just described this in my introduction. Int pretty much represents your whole number. Double is a real number. Decimal is a real number. Decimal is pretty much is what you use for like dealing. We want to program something that deals with money and stuff. Decimal is a little bit more accurate than double. And float is also a real number. When I say whole number, I mean like 1, 2, 3, 4. When I say real number, I'm talking about when I say real number, 1.3, 2.4, 3.5. You get the idea. 4.8. These are real numbers. You know, this is what real math is. This is the cute stuff that we like to tell ourselves. This is the cute stuff they teach in math classes. But these are what numbers actually look like in real life. Yeah, but these represent real numbers. And this is just another modified version of real numbers, like let's say 4, which clearly represents $4. And then we get the float math. That's when you get into 3D rendering and stuff like that. But that's beyond the scope of this video. But a struct is basically kind of a way to define a group of number of values or any other kind of reference type into a value type and display it. Now, let's talk about a record. The record is a very interesting kind of is a very interesting keyword. The record, when you compile it down, is actually just a class, but a record is essentially a modified class that somewhat operates like a value type, but it's a little bit more. The record is actually a little bit more similar to the struct type, but there's a big difference. When you compile it down, it's actually just a class, but records designed to are really designed is a specialized class designed for how can I describe this? It's records are designed to hold immutable data. Basically, records are classes designed to hold data that's not going to change. That you don't want to write over or change. But I'll explain this when we start coding. All right, y'all have seen enough of that. So let's go over to Visual Studio Code. As you can see, I have a blank. I ain't got nothing set up yet. I'm in a Dusty Struct folder, and this will be available on my GitHub repo once I'm done with the stream. But let's create a C# application. Now, in years past, we would have to get the full blown Visual Studio, which still exists, and they do have a free edition called the Community Edition. But fortunately, Microsoft has made it a lot easier for other editors to do their development in. So, and Visual Studio Code is one of them. So we're going to pull up a new terminal. This is pretty much your command line interface, and we're in this folder that we're going to be doing our project in, and we're going to say .NET new console. Give it a second. Salute Aquateki, and salute to Snowman and A.L. Evans. And as you can see, gave us object folder, Dusty CS project, which stands for Dusty C# project, and a simple hello world. Of course, we're going to change this, but we need to make one little extra step. In the C# and the C project, first we're going to actually cheat here a little bit. We're going to go to open file, and let's see. Go out here. Go to Dusty. Get it from my Dusty console. This is the Dusty console project file, and here's what we're going to do. We're going to copy this line right here, and we're going to go back to our Dusty Struct project file, and we're going to, well, wait a minute, let me make sure it's still, yeah, make sure I put it in the right place. We're going to paste, And what this basically does, it tells uh it tells my project to pretty much use the Dusty library, which is it's some extra code to help us build this application that I've built to help me build fun console applications. But anyway, let's get started here. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna delete all that crap, and we're gonna add some using statements. We're gonna add using static system.console and using. Actually, we're gonna also be saying using Dusty. I know it's got a little squiggly error. We'll fix that in a minute. Using. Well, let's fix this now. Actually, yep. Let's see. We're gonna say right line Dusty struct semicolon, and we're going to say read line. Now, if you notice, when you first saw the original project file had console dot right line, no, flow world. But when you add when you add the using static system at console is what we call a static class. Another way you can look at it is as a module, and we don't necessarily have to. We don't necessarily have to use console anymore since we declared it up here. So we just delete console and this compiled code. Now let's run this. We're going to go in our console terminal and we're going to say .NET run. This will compile our program and run it in the terminal. It's going to take a little minute, but we'll get there. And while I'm thinking about it, let me take care of a little business here. Brother Snowman, you are now a moderator. Good to have you. All right, that should be done by now. Yep. Oh, that's right. You gotta that's actually what's supposed to happen because I didn't save my program file. Not a problem. Save it now. And let's run this again. .NET run. And you got the Dusty Struct program. That read line, we just press enter. And we go back to the regular command line. Now, nice little trick here. Just to make the terminal a little clearer. Just a little clearer. You can add a statement up here. Clear. You're gonna see what that does in a minute. Now let me see if Dusty actually shows up. Using, there we go, Dusty. using Dusty. Oh, it's there. Using edit Dusty. Um, hmm. Now that is that builds correctly. That builds succeeded. Let's try that again just to make sure there's nothing wrong. All right, excellent. Oh, look, that's Visual Studio Code acting up, but that code is accurate and it works because if it didn't, it would have given me a nice red error here. Let's see where my problems. Space Dusty could be found. Okay. All right. Let's. Yeah, this is part of the programming process, folks. You got to test your code. Let's say .NET run again just to make sure there's nothing wrong with it. See, this is actually just Visual Studio Code kind of tripping, trying to pretend it doesn't read my Dusty dynamic link library, but it does read it. So anyway, all right. Now, as I said before, oh, by the way, if you like what you see in here, you like what I'm doing right now, you see the Cash App link. Scrolling by on the screen. Hit the Cash App link. All right. Now, like as I said, we're talking about structs and records today. So let's create a struct. Now, let's see how we're going to do this today. We'll create a new file. We're going to save it. And we're going to call it my first struct.cs. And we're going to say public struct my struct. Now we're going to add private. Well, we're going to add a private, yeah, private int x and y semicolon. I'm going to add a constructor for this my struct. And we're going to say, and we're going to add a int x and int y. Add a public int x. And basically we're going to say get equals x Actually, we're not even going to do this. Make this just a little bit more simpler. We're going to make this a little bit more simpler. Here's what we're going to do. No, I'm going to show you the old-fashioned way first. I'm going to say get turn x set x equals value. Now, I'll explain getters and setters in another video. You can look through my Dusty series, and I'll have a video describing what getter and setters are and how to use them. So, getting x, and we'll put it. This is a private. This means that when I go back to my program in CS, it won't be able to see these variables, but it'll be able to see this one and another one I'm going to create. And let's just say x equals x, y equals y. That. Now, let's add let's cheat, actually. Let's just say copy. Oops. We're going to paste that again. And instead of x, we're going to say, of course, y. Take y and y. Now, just to make sure we got our bases covered, let us compile this. As you can see, our build succeeded, despite the fact of the fact my editor's acting up a little bit, claiming that I have errors when I don't. But anyway, how to go through programming, folks. So anyway, we can now declare that struct. So my struct equals struct equals new my struct. And as you can see, it operates just like a class. Let's just add some values here, some random values here. And let's just ignore that because we can. Now let's say right line. Hold on, let me think about this for a minute. We're going to say right x. Yeah, we are going. Yeah. I take that back. We are going to say right line. Right line x. X. Wait a minute. We go x equals the struct x. And we're gonna cheat here. We're gonna copy this. It's basically the same line. And we're gonna say y equals y. Now remember these numbers right here. I'm gonna save this. The error. I'm quite sure the compiler will tell you. The compiler has trust and believe the compiler doesn't have any sympathy for me. If I make an error, it's going to tell me. So let's run this. See? All right, what's the problem? Dusty could not be found. Oh, I think I know what the problem is. Yep, that is the problem. Didn't save that. I had to save that. Let's see. Let's recompile that and see what happens. See? When you're working in when you're working in Visual Studio Code, if you're modifying a file, always remember to save. Just a pro tip. Always remember to save so the compiler can recognize what you've been working on. But as you can see, this actually displays the X and the Y value that we put up here. And once again, struct is a value type. If you want more information, I did put the link to the documentation for C# in the description. If you like what you see in here, support the channel. It helps me make more videos like this. All right, give me just a second. C# documentation. All right, let me share my screen here for 1 second before we move on. And share screen. Microsoft has a lot of good resources for learning C#. A lot of good online documentation. In fact, in the programming world, it's a well-known fact that programmers don't use books to look up information on programming languages. We use Google, and that's a real fact. Hey, what's going on, Tamper Supreme? Good to have you with us. And here's a link to this chart. Documentation. Check that out if you want to learn more about C#. I'm just giving you bits and pieces because C# can get very complicated in a hurry for us to believe. That's why I'm trying to take this Dusty programming series slow because C# can get very complicated very quickly. All right, let's remove that. And we're back to Visual Studio Code. 1 second. Where's that? There we go. Hello. That's me in the corner. It's me right. Oh, snap. All right. I hate OBS sometimes. There we go. Me right here. All right. Let's get back to programming. All right. All right. Wow. I got to find out what the problem is with that. Got to reactivate my camera every now and then. That's crazy. But anyway. Now, we're going on with the basics of what a struct I've given pretty much a good idea what a struct is. It's a value type. It's a value type. It compiles on a heap. Sometimes it's faster than a class. Before we move forward, actually, let me go back here a little bit to my board here a little bit and talk some more about structs. Let's see. Let's go to my work pad. The interesting thing about structs are the yeah, structs cannot be inherit inherit inherited. In other words, you can't you can't create a struct and have it inherit the properties of another struct. They can, however, take interfaces. Now I know I misspelled inherited, and you'll get over it. I ain't always the best speller, but you'll get over it. But it can take interfaces. You can put an interface on the struct, but you just can't inherit from another structure or class. Structs are kind of one-offs, and it's just It's just the way that they were made. However, we're about to go into the record type, and you can inherit. You can create a record and inherit from another record. So let us go back to Visual Studio Code, and we are going to create a new document. We're going to save it as records.cs. And we're just going to do what we need to do in this one class at once, just to save a little time here. So let's create a public record. A record. And let's create some public public properties for us to consume. Now, let's see. Let's see. Let's say public string message equals not equals but get and init. There's a difference between get when you say get and get means to return the value of whatever message is. Init is a special keyword we use to make a long story short. I can only set the value of message when I declare the record for the first time. And actually, I'm just going to save this. And we're going to go back to programming. And we're going to put and put the record. Record equals new. Wait a minute. Let's save it. It's saved. Equals new. So record. And we're going to say message equals my record message. Sorry about that. All right. So this is our record. Or if you hear the fireworks in the background, folks, you know it is 4th of July weekend. And this is our struct. So let's make this spice this up just a little bit. We're gonna say right line struct information. And let's say right line. Oops, that's not gonna work. Right line record information. Now let's say right line $sign the message is my record message. Semicolon. Save this. And let's see what we got here. .NET Run. Just give it a little bit. As you can see, struct information, record information, message is my record message. Now, as I said, let's click out of this for a minute. And let's go back here. If you're just coming in, hit the like button. If you like what I'm doing, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button, subscribe, and support the channel. All right. As I said, record better record inherit from the record. Unlike structs, you can inherit from this will inherit. You can inherit from another record. You cannot inherit from another class, but you can inherit from another record, even though a record compiles to a class. I know it's confusing, but it is. But those are the rules. So let's add public double real value it it, and this will have the extra value. This will have the extra property of real value. And to save this, and for the record, you should probably put these in separate files, but we're just doing this for today, just to speed things along a little bit. All right, let's go back to our programming file, and under here, better record equals new record equals message equals I'm new thing. Yeah, on a new message. And real value equals, let's make up a number. 45.5. Save that. Now, let us go all the way down here. And we're going to say right line record. And we're going to say right line equals dollar sign so we can play with the variables equals message equals the record that message. So trick here. Little trick here. This slash n represents space, so we're actually going to say real number equals record real value. And this should compile. And let's run this. So as you can see, Dusty Struct program, original values, first record, and the better record. Let's exit out. So this is the this is just me going over overview of the basics of working with the record and struct type. That's pretty much all I have for today. Hope everybody has a good 4th of July weekend, and hope everybody eats good too. But this is AB Media 83, and I'm out. Y'all have a good 4th of July. Happy Independence Day. Yo, this is AB Media 83. Want to support the channel? Hit the Cash App. Also, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the video. Also, be sure to hit that bell notification so you can be notified the next time I upload a live stream or video. And always remember, keep it grinding, keep it pushing, keep it moving. This is AB Media 83, and I'm out. Peace.